Alright guys, we're gonna make some fresh halibut ceviche. I got about 3.5 to 4 pounds of freshly caught halibut. I've got 12 limes, almost a pound of serrano peppers, a little over a pound of jalapenos, a half a pound of habaneros. Gonna use 3.5 large onions, 6 carrots that we're gonna shred. I really like a lot of garlic in it, and I didn't want to have to deal with chopping and mincing garlic, so I just bought a jar of minced garlic. We're gonna finish this off with a little cocktail sauce. We're gonna all get started in this, and we'll show you it in small steps. Stay tuned. That fish would have to have a corner to meat. And one of my Hispanic buddies taught me this, and it really improves the taste of the ceviche. When you use this much limes, it's really tart. It's kind of hard on the stomach for some people. And by using, we're not going to use all 4, but we're going to use probably 2.5 of them, maybe 3, depending on. This is going to be 2 batches. The guys I work with, my crewmates, some of them really like hot food, some of them don't. So we're going to make 2 batches, one that's somewhat nuclear, and the other one's ketchup mild, but still got a little bit of bite for the guys. On the hot one, I'm gonna throw in some crushed red peppers too, just so they get a little burn when it comes out. You know, you gotta be friendly. When you're cutting up your halibut, you really want to dice it fine. The finer you make your halibut, the better the lemon juice penetrates it, cooks it, faster the process is. Even though I'm gonna dice this really small, make my halibut really in small chunks, it kind of gets blended in with all your other ingredients later on a lot better when it's smaller chunks. It cooks faster. There's just a lot of reasons for it. So make sure you got no bones. There's no bones in this chunk. This is a pretty good sized halibut. Got a little smaller one, got a little bit of rib bones. So I'm gonna remove all the rib bones. I'm gonna make these small steak strips, and I'm gonna start making strips like so and segment this muscle. After that, turn it, just make them really small. I mean, these are like 1/4 inch cubes. I don't know if you can see this really well, but try to keep them small. All my ingredients are going to be finely chopped, and I don't have a chopper, so it's going to take a while. Chris is going to help me. The only good thing is we got a electric juicer, which is awesome for what we're doing. But try to keep all your little chunks in 1/4 inch little cubes, 1/4 inch to 3/8. It just blends out through the dish a lot better, and it cooks a lot faster. All right, after about 40 minutes of dicing, me and Chris, we've kind of destroyed the kitchen again, and I added a little more halibut. There's probably close to 5 pounds of halibut in here for 2 batches. Could have added a little more, but I didn't want to go too light on the lime juice. So here's 12 limes, probably pretty close to a quart in here, and we're just gonna add it in here. Make sure your mixing bowl is plastic, rubber, something besides a metal bowl. Glass is fine. Glass is my preferred, but I just don't have it. So just because the citric acid starts reacting with it, I don't even use a wooden, I just use one of these wooden spoons. I don't really use a metal spoon either. And what you want to do is you want to get this around all those little medallions of halibut so it can start its cooking process. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to put this in the fridge after I stir it, and about every 30 minutes to an hour, I'm just going to reach in the fridge and stir it a little bit more. And I'm going to do this for about 4 to 6 hours before I add any more ingredients. You want to make sure this fish is cooking. And I mean, if you're going to eat it right fresh, you can throw all this together, have a party, it's great. But if there's any chance this is going to last a day or two, you know, or more. I always like to cook it. It's just a better, comes out a little better too if you just let it sit for 4 to 6 hours in this lime juice. Try to get it all dabbed down before, you know, try to get it all to where it's submerged in that lime juice. We're gonna put that in the fridge. I just want to go over the ingredients a little more. We're gonna finish it off with some cocktail sauce for sure, and it'll be in the video. We're gonna add quite a bit of minced garlic. On the hot batch, we're gonna use some crushed red chili pepper flakes, but those onions were a little large, so we only ended up using 2 onions finely diced. I think we had about 10 habaneros, and you can see they're really finely diced. We went with 5 or 6 carrots shredded. There's probably about 20 serranos, you know, average size. What was this, 3 clumps, Chris?
4.
Four clumps of cilantro. And probably about 10 jalapenos all diced up. So I'm gonna put all this in the fridge, and in about 4 to 6 hours, once all this, you can see the halibut, it's already starting to turn white, but you can see like this piece is more yellowish. Once it turns snow white, like it's been bleached with Clorox, then you know it's done. It's been cooked thoroughly. I mean, you can eat it right then if you want. I mean, you can eat it now, but it will last a lot longer if it doesn't get eaten right away. So I always, especially if I give it out as gifts or anything, and I know it's not gonna get eaten all that night, I just let it sit for 4 to 6 hours. Get all this stuff put away in the fridge and keep stirring, and we'll get back to it and finish it off and take it to work tomorrow. All right, this is 5 hours later. I ended up adding a little bit of salmon. I put about 2 pounds of salmon, so now we're probably closer to 7 pounds. 6.5, 7 pounds. And you can see how all the meat's turned white, snow white. And that's what we're looking for. So I'm gonna split this up for the guys at work that don't like heat. I'm gonna make a milder batch, and then a spicier batch for the guys that do like the heat. And they said they wanted it hot, so I'm gonna make it hot. So, no metal if you can help it. I'm gonna split this batch in half. So I'm gonna take half the carrots. Jalapenos are gonna go, let's see which side do I wanna make this mild batch. I'll make this the mild batch. So they're gonna get the majority of the jalapenos. We're gonna get a few of the serranos, not a lot. Hot batch is gonna get all the habaneros. I'm gonna split the cilantro in half. Looks like quite a bit, but it actually adds really good flavor. Okay, there's the 2 onions. They're both gonna get equal parts of the onion, roughly. Got some crushed red peppers for the hot one. There's probably about half a bottle in there. Don't be afraid of the garlic. Garlic is awesome. I like a lot of garlic in mine. So there's probably 5 tablespoons in there or better. All right, I was struggling trying to mix it in that bowl. It's just way too much stuff for that size of bowl. So next biggest pan I had was my wok. So I used it to stir it up, mix it up, pre-mix it. Now I'm gonna add the cocktail sauce, and with this much ceviche, I'm going to add 1.5 bottles of this, and then taste it and see what I think, and add maybe a little more, but it's quite a bit of ceviche. I'm just adding any ordinary cocktail sauce. It just takes out that bite, that sourness of that lime, and makes it a really nice, smooth ceviche. It's got a little sugar in it. It's got a little horseradish. It just really makes it a really good finisher. Just want to really mix it really good so the cocktail sauce goes evenly through the whole bowl. That's perfect. What you're looking for is not that real intense sourness of the lime. You're just looking for it to have good flavor and really taste all the stuff you put in, all the ingredients you put in it. Well, there's probably about 10 pounds of ceviche here, so the boys are going to be eating it. Made a hot batch and a not so hot batch, but it's always fun to share your recipes and enjoy the food that you get to harvest throughout the year. Know where your meat comes from and whack them and stack them.